you design for people, you design for different user groups. And then of course afterwards, when it is used and when people love it and like it, that is what you can enjoy as an architect. Yeah, UNStudio is a multidisciplinary company. Beauty of this multidisciplinary aspect of the studio is that we cross-combine all the knowledge from one project to the other. And for that reason, we better describe it as that we design environments instead of objects or buildings. And the beauty of UNStudio also lately is that we expand on the way how we want to develop our knowledge and want to keep on innovating with a knowledge department combined with a product department, a future department where we have really futurist climate change and sustainability. All these things are studied in these different units within the studio, and it informs and implements the ideas of that what we design within the studio as well, so it's quite exciting. Yeah, UNSense is a new company, what is set it up out of the mother company UNStudio. It is working on technology in the built environment. It works with data platforms you can place under neighborhoods. Even the interactive quality of the community is operating, whereby we stimulate with that better community building in the built environment. But lately also we check financial possibilities of how much investment do you need to bring into a project related to making a built environment more sustainable, and what will that bring back to the maintenance cost over the future of the use of the building, and related to the general property cost of buying the ground, etc. I think that architecture can do a lot to our climate crisis where we are in right now. And we have, of course, regulations where we have to work with, like the Paris agreements, etc. That through, let's say, energy saving, new forms of mobility, the ways how we can now use technology in our built environments to check if we are really reducing our energy over the time when we are active in the building. So we call it lately the performance of the building. We can now see if we are as sustainable as we like in the built environment. And that is, I think, very important. Through artificial intelligence, you can now make self-learning environments also. So I think that's the future. I think the use of a project after it is built is one of the most important aspects of the project in a way, because you design for people, you design for different user groups. I lately think that it is also so important to make sure that you think a lot about the way how in the process of designing that you think of these user groups and the people who are going to use, of course, the building, because otherwise you cannot come to the right organization of a building or a station, etc. To give you an example, when we designed the Arnhem train station in Holland, we looked at where the students would go, where the people who are living in the neighborhood close to the station would use what kind of infrastructure, like a bus or a bicycle, and where would they park, etc. With the Erasmus Bridge, I never could predict that it would be so much appreciated, that it would become an almost important symbol for the city and even a bit of Holland. For instance, a story about a fisherman who passed the bridge every Friday after the whole week fishing in the North Sea, and he told me a story when we had an exhibition about the bridge, that he, after so many years, placed a tattoo on his back of the bridge, because for him this bridge gave him the safe feeling of coming home when he passed the bridge every Friday. In this exhibition there were so many other people then showing me their tattoos of the bridge. And this was for me the most unusual experience, that people can be so happy about the product and that it becomes part of their life? Yes, I think that's a good question, because I think that many architects have the dream to combine other things within the field. And that's also maybe the beauty of architecture, that you can combine so many qualities. But of course, I have my personal fascinations. I sometimes focus on astronomy, or I'm interested in art history. And I've periods that I read everything about psychology. And for instance, I love to also work on myself when it comes down to keeping myself active mentally, but also creatively. And for that reason, I paint a lot. And yeah, I've always liked to discover things in other fields in order to make sure that I keep myself also on the innovative level active. So yes, I like to be, as an architect, someone who can combine many other professions. When Caroline Bos and myself started the company in 1988, we believed that it was important to think of a collaborative mode of design. That we said we don't want to stand in front of the orchestra, but we want to be in the orchestra and work with every specialist together. And my role and Caroline's role is different. Caroline is actually much more involved in the urban planning part of the studio, but also writes a lot and does do a lot of research on the level of the way how cities can be improved. And I myself focus more on the architecture and the quality of the way how we develop products. And of course I integrate it also in the urban strategies we have, but specifically lately also technology and UNSense. Yeah, the challenge is to bring together these different factors of the way how we design. UNStudio is not designing objects anymore, but we design environments. We create conditions where every type of design can grow into when you design an environment. The most important is that when you design a product, that you then think of the environment of who is going to use it. Is it going to be an object what sits on the table, or is it a cup? Or who's going to use it? How do you touch it? So yeah, I like that idea of environments. Was that good?